Hi everyone, it is Saturday morning and that means for this car it is scone time. So we're going to need flour, we're going to need some butter and milk and eggs. Those are in the fridge because when you make scones you need to keep all the cold ingredients as cold as possible. Okay, now I've also got some salt and some baking powder. Right, now I thought, why not let's have some savory scones this morning? So we're going to grate some cheese so that can go in. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 cups of flour and I'm going to use half the amount of cheese for my cheese scones. So if I've used 2 cups of flour, then that means I'm going to use 1 cup of cheese, grated cheese. Okay, so I'm going to get grating that on, not the fine one, and certainly not the nutmeg one, this one. Okay. Now remember to tidy up as you go. Now, I've just taken my cold ingredients out of the fridge. I've got my milk, I've got my butter, and I need 2 eggs. There we go. Now before you start mixing, you can get the oven on because it doesn't take long to mix and you want it to go straight into the oven. Okay, and it's going to be a warm oven, 200 degrees. See, the oven's on and we are taking out our ingredients. There's my cup of cheese. I've tidied up as I've gone. I've put my grater in the sink and I have put my cheese away. And now, 2 cups of flour. Right, there we go. 1 cup. Okay. And 2 cups. Whoops. Go. A little pinch of salt. Ooh. And pinch of salt. There we go. And I'm going to put the lid back on my flour. Now I'm going to need it just now. For every cup of flour, I need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So I used 2 cups of flour. So that means I'm going to need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Yes, there we go. 1 and 2. Salt it. Mix that with a spoon like that. Now comes the part where you rub in the butter. Okay, we're going to rub in this butter. So I'm going to just cut it. Now remember, we want these ingredients nice and cold. So try not to touch it and fiddle with it too much. Just slice it into little bits of butter like this as quickly as you can. Okay, it's nice and cold from the fridge. And I'm cutting it so that it's going to be easy to rub it in. I'm not going to rub in big blobs of it. So fingertips when we're rubbing in. Remember fingertips. So now at this point, you add the flavors for your scones. So today we're making cheesy scones. There, that cheese goes in. And I thought, you know what? How would it be to have some herbs with that cheese? Hey? How's that sound? So, from the herbs we got from our garden, I've got some rosemary. Rosemary is quite a strong herb, so we won't use a lot, but we'll chop some of that in. And how about some parsley? So, you know Miss Carr likes her scissors. So there they are. Scissors to cut those herbs in. Okay, so yes, just chop in those herbs a little bit like that. Don't have to be too fine, just so that you've got a nice bit of flavor in there. Yummy, yum, yum. And the rosemary, try to avoid the stalks because the stalks are hard. Okay, so we just want And that's why what you do with rosemary, you take the bit you want and you can just go like that. You're going to pull those little leaves off, see, like that, see. Then the hard part gets left, and then you've got all the lovely leaves in your hand. Okay, and those, you chippity chop, up. Oh, I'm actually putting quite a lot in here. Maybe I'm overdoing it, I don't know. And as we said, I'm going to put a little bit of parsley, but parsley is actually nice to have fresh. So that'll probably be nice to have actually sprinkled on the hot scones with some nice butter. That would sound nice, hey? So some parsley and butter. There we go. But I'm going to put a little bit in here anyway. And I'm going to put a little dash of paprika. Okay. Just to give it a little bit of paprika taste. Herbs that I'm finished with can go back in their water to keep them, and the water keeps them fresh. Yes, so now that I just fold that over, mix that so that it's all a little bit mixy mixed, the herbs and the cheese. You can see they sort of just getting covered with all the flour so that it's all mixed together. Perfect. 2 eggs. Now, some people use more baking flour. Some people use more baking powder in their scones, but they don't use as many eggs. Some people don't use eggs at all in their scones. Now, I prefer to use 2 eggs and only 2 spoons of baking powder. Some people use 4, but no eggs, because I just prefer the taste with a bit less baking powder. Also, the eggs make it a little bit richer, and the eggs are good for you. They've got protein in them, and that's good for you. So at this stage with the eggs, you can add, if you've got some, a little bit of yogurt or a little bit of cream, also to just add a little bit of extra richness. I don't have today, but I've got cheese in there. So I'm going to just top that up with some milk. Now again, I go by consistency with this. Some people are more fussy with measuring. I go by consistency, so I just put my eggs and I put my cream or yogurt if I've got, and my milk, and just put it like that. And it goes into my dry ingredients. I make a well in the middle. Remember, a well is like a hole where you put all the wet ingredients in. Okay, and in it goes into the well. And make sure you get all that egg out. And it just gets mixed. Yes, that's perfect. It's nice and sticky. I haven't mixed it too much. And now I'm going to put it on my tray. Okay, so on my tray I normally sprinkle a bit of flour just so that the scones come off nicely. Okay, now I'm finished with my flour. I can put it away. Right, so it can go straight into the cupboard. That I'm also finished with. It can go away. Upside down. Onto my tray. I'm using my fingers, my clean fingers to help. Okay. There we go. Oh, nice. That one's a little bit smaller. Try to keep them even size so that when they bake, they all bake the same. You don't get some that are burnt and some that are raw. Okay, because that's what would happen. Okay, rustic herb and cheese scones ready to go into the oven for 12 minutes, 200 degrees C. So that when those nice cheesy herby scones come out of the oven, I can just spread them with some butter and then sprinkle them with a little bit of extra parsley. That butter's going to melt nicely, and that parsley will just be a little bit of green freshness on them. Yum. There we go. I think that's sufficient. Sufficient means enough. Maybe just one more. Then it'll be super sufficient. scones fresh out of the oven. You actually hear them sizzling that lovely butter. Oh, I wonder if you can almost smell them through the computer. So nice and warm and fresh. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Nice.
It was such a beautiful sunny morning. It was perfect to have our scone breakfast out on the deck.